Ryan Blaney, you heard that frustration on the radio earlier in the race. He didn't like that call where it went green and then caution. He was frustrated, but he had the fresher tyres, and he has driven his way through the traffic, past the opponents, to be 5 laps from home, 5 laps from going to Phoenix, and a chance at defending his title, going back to back. That hasn't happened all that often in the 75-year history of NASCAR. The disappointment of last week in Homestead could turn to the elation here in Martinsville.
And one position is the difference between Byron and Bell.
He's not over to the last corner.
To go now for the discount tire Ford of Ryan Blaney. Comfortable 2.5 seconds in front.
Byron doing all he can to hold these 2 cars behind. Keselowski wants to get up there and make something happen. Christopher Bell to the back of the 10 car.
Rolling all good.
Keselowski has with the 2 too wide in front of him.
There's a little push and shove going on there for that final, getting to this final lap. There's half a mile to go for Ryan Blaney. The reigning NASCAR Cup Series champion is going to have an opportunity to defend.
Can you believe it? Oh my gosh.
Last week at these 2 corners, 3 and 4, he lost the lead and lost the chance. He lost sleep over it.
It's like William Byron might make it.
Anything here in Martinsville, he wins and is going to Phoenix.
Oh, Bell in the wall.
Determined, savvy drive.
I don't know.
And look at that, right at the end, Christopher Bell drives his way in
We'll
as
have to
well.
see how he hit the wall.
Right at the very end, look at Adam
What
Stevens.
happens?
I think the 20 past the 23 coming in the line for the 1 point that he needed.
We'll see
This is it.
what happened.
Watch this, the 23 and the 20. He went for it, almost lost control, hits the wall, drives off the wall, sort of Ross Chastain-esque.
There'll be a lot of conversation in the NASCAR tower about the entire finish of this race. And all the cars racing for points, but what a drive by Blaney.
My goodness.
It's 2 Toyotas and 2 Fords.
It changed.
No way to hang in there.
It changed on the last corner of the last lap of this race to determine the 4th and final position.
What a drive by Blaney. Just unbelievable long run pace. Understood how to manage 500 laps here at Martinsville. These are step up moments, Diff. When you can come here having to win the race to move yourself into it and making it happen.
Going with Bell for the championship.
We understand that race control is checking the end of the race on points and on tie-break situation. Christopher Bell gets it. But this is lucky number 13, victory number 13 in his Cup career for Ryan Blaney to give himself a chance to win back-to-back championships with a thoroughly determined drive through the field, driven by the disappointment of last weekend. Spare a thought for William Byron if it does stay the way we think it is, who did everything he possibly could.
You can't predict how these races are going to finish. Every time we come here, it's something different. Jeff, I'm going to give you credit. You pointed out Blaney. We were so focused on the 9 and the 5, but Blaney just, from 3 seconds back.
And Steve, you mentioned it too, the questioning, they're looking at the finish of this. The Ross Chastain move from years ago, they made that, you can't do that anymore to gain position. I don't think that what we saw Christopher Bell do is the same thing. He drove into turn 3, overdrove the car, got by. Watch this right here. So, 23 up the racetrack. All right, so he overdrives the corner, for sure. On the outside of the 10, sideways,
right? Hits the wall, and then sure enough, stays in the gas. And the last part of that looks like Chastain. The start of it doesn't.
That's right. This is going to be the call that the officials are going to have to make. Either way, we know who won the race.